What's going on, people? Welcome to another Emotion Football live stream. My name is Alam, and today we're going to talk about the few days of free agency that I haven't been around for. Last couple of days were super busy, so I couldn't make it here, but now I'm here. We have about 3 days of stuff to talk about. Obviously, I won't be hitting every single move like I did with day one, but we're going to lock in and get into all the big stuff. I see my guys are in the chat. Will salute to you. Ravens didn't choose; they wanted both. Very interesting situation to talk about. Was about to have the best pass rush. Damn. Guys, make sure to join my free agency stream on Saturday night. For sure, man. Check out Caden's stuff. Okay, without further ado, let's go to Chef D's Twitter account and pull out the big tweets. Yeah, let's do the Crosby situation first, because I guess it would make most sense to talk about it in chronological order. But yeah, the Ravens pulled out of the deal citing medical issues and not wanting to invest. If you ask my personal opinion, I think the Ravens traded for Crosby. It was the first big move in free agency. It set off a domino effect of things. And when they realized what would happen after they traded Crosby, they kind of just realized like there's a risk that is at play here. So the first point I think to focus on is like we got to make sure we're all on the same page about what a medical is or what a physical is. There's no like set way of doing a physical. A doctor is going to look at the person's injuries, give the report to the GM, and the team just decides whether they're comfortable with it or not. So there's a pretty decent history of teams just pulling out of deals and trades because of failed physicals, and there not really being a consensus on why they failed the physical. So the thing is like it's clear as day that Crosby is hurt. Ironically, Hendrickson is hurt as well. So the thing you have to look at when it comes to the physical is that when you're trading 2 first-round picks, something I heightened the significance of when I talked about the trade in the first place. I know Ravens fan was here when I was talking about it, but I'm like, guys, it doesn't matter who it's for. Trading 2 first-round picks is a lot. I talked about how with a lot of the times these kind of trades happen, I just treat the team as if they're strapped into what they are. And it's different when that's what's at stake because 2 first-round picks is young talent that's going to impact, that could in theory impact like the next 5 years of your team. So when you're trading away that type of value for a guy, you're going to not just want the guy to be healthy, but you're going to want to make sure that there's no lingering things that might become bigger issues down the road. And truthfully, I think that they probably looked at the medicals, got a feel for the fact that like, hey, if we trade 2 first-round picks for Crosby, we still have to address the Linderbaum issue. And figuring out the interior offensive line. We probably still have to add another receiver. Again, I don't know if their philosophy on offense has changed much, but there could be needs at receiver. There's still other defensive needs. So the reality is like, it just makes more sense to go for Trey Hendrickson over Max Crosby. We have other shit to do. We have other needs. And there's honestly just like no point in looking at like any ethical or moral things of what you're supposed to do. The reality is they had an opportunity to pull out of the trade. I did not think that they thought Linderbaum was going to get $27 million a year. I don't think that they anticipated every edge rusher would get 15 plus million free agency. Like, I just think they saw the market and they were like, this is fucking whack. Let's get Hendrickson and duck out of here with our 2 first-round picks. So Ravens fan says they didn't choose, they wanted both. I don't think it would have made any financial sense to get both, considering that, again, if you get Crosby for 2 first-round picks and Hendrickson, what the fuck are you going to do about Linderbaum and the center position? Because, again, they upgraded one of their guard spots. But as of right now, it looks like it's going to be offset by the loss at center. So you are at the same place with your offensive line that you were last year in terms of not being happy. Who plays opposite of? Oh, hold on, we got a white boy. Eventually, it's all good. Shout out to Peter. No, you guys, this is the thing. Like, Hendrickson for free or Crosby for more money and 2 first-round picks, I'm taking Hendrickson as a free agent signing. It makes more sense. You also have a pissed off Hendrickson that fucking hates Cincinnati. Like, it's just a better move. And you know, there's a tampering period where things aren't official for a reason. Who plays opposite of Trey? That is probably yet to be determined. I mean, based on the fact that um based on the fact that hold on. I think right now they have Mike Green, right? Mike Green is the other edge rusher. What the fuck happened to this website? Oh, hold on. The hell? I clicked close like 2 minutes ago. Okay. GM hinted at them drafting center for Myles Garrett. Nah, bro, you guys have other shit to address before you can worry about getting a big time second edge rusher. Where is Baltimore? As of right now, I would say it's not Tavius Robinson and it's probably Mike Green. But I also think you guys are probably, I don't know, probably gonna draft somebody. Because I don't think it's gonna be Adisa Isaac either. Yeah, like I said, man, as of now, you guys have to figure out the center spot. You guys have to figure out if you want to upgrade the left guard spot. We have to figure out another receiver, I think. Then again, they could roll with Bateman and Flowers, but it's like, I don't know. I wouldn't roll with Bateman and Flowers again. And then there are other pieces in the secondary, I think, that probably could be brought in. Actually, hold on. They got Chidobe back and they got Jalen Hawkins. Maybe those are their secondary moves. I don't know. Oh, if you're still here, is Namdi good for next year? But yeah, that's that on that, people. I just like look. My personal belief is that there wasn't some scheme to get both. I think they saw how free agency panned out. They're like, yo, 2 first-round picks for Crosby for what? I might want another pass rusher similar to a wanted Max. Here's my thing though. I think the finances are just evidence for the fact that they didn't want Max and Hendrickson. Because again, just like where is that money coming from if they wanted both? So just for that reason, bro, I just genuinely don't believe that they wanted both. And you're gonna see this again because it's like Trey they wanted Max. All I'm saying is that like I don't think they're obligated to tell Trey the truth about what they wanted from another free agent. And I guess you can look at it this way. Maybe they're thinking about it like we wanted Linderbaum and Max, and then once Linderbaum became not possible, we're gonna then put both those contracts into pass rushers. But if that's the case, then like God bless when it comes to the offensive line. And good luck, Declan Doyle. Yeah, those are my thoughts on that trade. Those are I don't know. I don't really give them shit the way the rest of the league is giving them shit, just because like they're entirely within their right to look at Crosby's knee and determine that they don't want this in the future. If anything, the mess up is that the team shouldn't have went public with the trade if there was an idea that, you know, we're not 1,000% down with his knee. Knows how to draft in late rounds. I mean, yeah, like the Ravens have a decent history with drafting. I'm sure they'll figure things out. But it's just like, yeah, they need that. They need the picks and the money to make certain things happen. Bam's 83 is on Schefter's Twitter account. That's crazy. And then I think the other big move. Okay, I guess this is a big move. This isn't the post with the money. Give me the post with the money. No, this isn't the. Did Shefty never report the money? I guess not. But DaCosta did a press conference though, so that's basically they did it without putting it in words. But DaCosta spoke on it for sure. Colts gave Daniel Jones a 2-year contract. They gave him. Let me see where his money lines up in the league. Over the cap quarterbacks. Average per year. So Daniel Jones is 44 mil. Slots in, below Patrick Mahomes by 1 mil, which is funny, and above Matt Stafford by 4. Okay, that's interesting. So 44 mil for Daniel Jones. Most of the starting quarterbacks at this point are between 51 and 55. This is like a big cluster of quarterbacks here that are more or less all getting paid the same. And then Daniel Jones is well below that. I guess what I would say is that like this number isn't that far from being fair. It looks like a big number at first, but Sam Darnold got paid 33.5. That's probably where I would have felt comfortable paying him, like this Darnold Baker range. But the Colts have like no leverage, and no legs to stand on. So I'm not surprised they had to pay more than that, but it's like they didn't get into the 50s the way I thought they might. Because I feel like when Daniel Jones got his last contract with the Giants, like whatever it was, whatever that deal, however that deal was, in comparison to the rest of the quarterbacks, it was higher than this, I think. It's also only a 2-year deal, so they can get out of it after 1 year, realistically, no matter what happened, because they handed him $88 million, and that's lower than the dead cap hit that Miami's taking for Tua right now. So, like, the Daniel Jones contract itself isn't horrible. My only issue is that I kind of think they had a chance to upgrade the quarterback spot from Daniel Jones to Kyler Murray, and I think that's the call they should have made. Murray would have been cheaper. You could have given him a 1-year prove-it deal at the veteran minimum. He's healthier than Daniel Jones. He's, I think, just better than Daniel Jones. And my big issue with Indy's approach is, and I've been pretty consistent about this, they have to win this year. This is a must-win situation for the Colts. I don't think Steichen and Ballard make it if they can't get over the line this year. When I say get over the line, I'm talking at least a convincing playoff push. So without that, I just don't see how we've ended up in a situation where you're relying on a quarterback off an Achilles tear and a broken leg. An Achilles tear and a broken leg. And we're relying on that guy, potentially rushing him to get back in order to save our jobs. I just don't get it. To free up cap space. Yeah, so when I'm thinking about money, I'm not necessarily thinking about cap space, because you're right. You can do all kinds of shenanigans to open up cap space. But at the end of the day, one, there's only so much a team can spend in terms of like a multi-year span. So if you talk about the next 5 years, like it's not like they could kick the can down the road into the 6 years into the future. Like if they were to restructure his contract to free up cap space this year, they're just pushing that money into next year or the year after. And like, it's like buying on a credit card. You're not actually getting something for free. The cap space doesn't magically appear out of nowhere. You're eating into future years. But the other thing is that like, here's something you have to keep in mind. When NFL contracts get signed, you know how there's a guaranteed portion and a non-guaranteed portion? As soon as a guaranteed portion, like as soon as a contract is signed, the guaranteed money, the owner has to put all that money into a bank account and it has to sit there. This is just a mechanism in the NFL. So when it comes to like teams signing these big money deals all at once, like you have to frankly just like ask yourself, is this an owner that's down to put massive sums of liquid cash into bank accounts? And every organization's willingness to do that is different. Now, I'm not saying this to say that Baltimore's on the cheaper side when it comes to this stuff, because Pittsburgh is, oddly enough. I did a whole financial analysis last year of how much dead money every team has tied up. Pittsburgh was pretty low. You ask why their field is shit? Because those owners don't really want to spend. I say that to say, like, when it comes to the organizations that I think would just like the kind of spending you want Baltimore to do, they've never done that. Like, when in your life has Baltimore ever had an off season where they just splurged and splurged and splurged? They're not that organization. And I can't say for sure that Steve Bisciotti is the reason, but I'm sure that, like, do you think a first-year coach could go to the owner and be like, yeah, you know what? I want you to break out the checkbook in a way that you didn't for Harbaugh. So, nah, man, I just do. Like, what team would I say is more likely to go crazy with the spending? I know Denver has the Walmart owners, but they're not necessarily. Oh, well, not Jerry Jones either. But yeah, it wouldn't be this team, dude. It wouldn't be this team. Oh, Philadelphia is pretty willing to throw hella guaranteed money into contracts. But even Philadelphia has to be restrained. Like, for example, right, the Eagles have been very conservative with spending money for 2 off seasons now. Why? Because they literally just know that so much money is going to get spent with Jalen Carter, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Jordan Davis just got paid, maybe Nolan Smith / Jalix Hunt. Like, there's a shit ton of money that has to go out, and they can't eat into that by spending it now and borrowing from the future to spend it. In Baltimore's case, they don't necessarily have young players. On over the horizon that they have to pay. But yeah, just like, I don't know. If you think, look, because I can't say that what I think about the situation is complete. I have no clue what English words you heard to make this response make sense. I think what I said might have just went over your head. Eagles fan talking shit like our pass rush wasn't a problem last season. What does this mean? What yeah, you know what? Never mind, bro. Never mind. On to Kyler. So Kyler Murray is a Minnesota Viking. This is, again, I kind of hinted at how I feel about this. No shit, bro. Like, of course. But what do you think happens when a team ranks dead last? Their owners just all of a sudden spend generationally more money than they ever have before at that position? Like, does that make sense to you? But yeah, Kyler Murray is a Minnesota Viking. He's going to work with Kevin O'Connell. I think this is interesting because I think Kyler Murray is the opposite of everything I would expect from a KOC quarterback. My understanding of a Kevin O'Connell offense has always been you want a motherfucker like Sam Darnold, somebody who's just going to get through his reads, make a quick decision, and you can trust from a clean pocket to make an accurate throw. When I think of these type of offenses, again, I think of Brock Purdy's and Sam Darnold's and Jimmy Garoppolo's and Matt Ryan's and Matt Schaub's and all these other kinds of quarterbacks that are kind of in that vein of I'm in the pocket, I'm making reads. Hopefully the offense opens up good looks. Kyler Murray, in my opinion, is the exact opposite of that kind of quarterback. Very talented football player in terms of skill. I don't think he has a whole lot. I don't think he's ever been made to sit down and learn structure and like learn any of that kind of shit. Like, I think Kyler Murray has always had the talent to just go step onto the football field and make plays as like an improviser. Very good quarterback when it comes to making something out of nothing. If the game breaks down into backyard football, you probably want Kyler Murray playing quarterback on your team. If you're playing flag football, you probably want Kyler Murray as your quarterback. But things just haven't worked so far in the NFL. And I think a big part of it is because Arizona, first of all, is not the world-class organization. Speaking of organizations that aren't willing to spend, are not the world-class organization to put like a top quality coach in front of him to like help grow his game. But yeah, it's just like I've never seen Kyler commit to just playing sound football. And if you think about what happened with the Cardinals last year, they pivoted from Kyler to Jacoby Brissett, and you saw a bunch of production come out of nowhere. Like Michael Wilson turned into an amazing fantasy option. Trey McBride was catching touchdowns. Trey McBride, I think he broke a tight end season catches record. Like most catches in a season for a tight end. And like nobody here thinks Jacoby Brissett is an amazing quarterback, but all Jacoby Brissett is a person that's going to play within structure and within the rules of an offense. And the disparity that like the way the offense just suddenly took off indicates it's a great example of how much Kyler Murray kind of neglects that part of the game. So this is where I find the match really interesting because it's like Kyler brings everything to the game that's not necessarily what KOC is looking for. So I don't know if this is going to be a clash or if KOC is going to help Kyler grow into the quarterback that everybody thought he could be. I think this is actually very similar to when Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson became a thing. Because if you think about Ben Johnson's Detroit offense, with Jared Goff at the quarterback, you're looking at a lot of the same type of things. You're looking at a quarterback that is asked to just make the simple plays, make clean, throws from a clean pocket, make good decisions. And then you put Caleb Williams in that offense, who is an improviser, is somebody who, again, a lot of backyard football, a lot of going off script and out of the structure. You put Caleb in that situation, and I think you saw some growth. You saw some steps forward for Caleb Williams in that regard. The question is can Kyler and KOC have a similar type of relationship? Because again, I think Kyler Murray is very skilled just when it comes to football. I think there's a whole lot of just like understanding and commitment to playing within somebody else's rules. Kyler has always been able to just play Kyler ball. If he ever decides that I want to commit to learning KOC ball, I think Kyler could grow into a very well-rounded quarterback. So I think this isn't a boom or bust kind of a signing, because again, if he comes in and doesn't grow and expand, I don't think he's going to be able to run the offense. If he comes in and gradually takes steps towards doing all the KOC, Sam Darnold, Jared Goff type stuff, then you're at that point you're looking at a very well-rounded quarterback, and you're looking at a franchise quarterback that the Vikings could definitely pivot their whole franchise towards. I expect Justin Jefferson to have a much better year than last year. I expect I think Hawkinson is back. I expect him to have a good year next year. This is again a very interesting situation, and I remember feeling some very similar things about Caleb and Ben Johnson. So we'll see how this goes. I think regardless, JJ McCarthy is not the guy, so they needed to give themselves another option. And I think they got the best quarterback or the best deal for a quarterback on the market, considering that he is going to make the veteran minimum. Now, something I did hear about Kyler is that apparently he took visits with the Rams and the Steelers, like on Zoom. So I guess took meetings. Yeah, he took meetings with the Rams and the Steelers because his 1-year deal has a no tag clause, meaning he will be a free agent next year. And he kind of wanted to just like, I guess, prime himself for what it might be like to be a free agent next year with teams that could have free quarterback openings next year. Obviously with Stafford and presumably Rodgers being the quarterbacks this upcoming season. So fascinating stuff with this one. We're going to see how this works. I'm inclined to think it will work. And if it does, then Minnesota has their guy. And we're looking at a division where Love, Kyler, and Caleb, 3 slingers, could all be in the same division. But I think those are like the big moves that happened. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to the Bills. They needed a veteran safety for sure, because the 2 safeties they had penciled in were both young guys. So that makes sense. They needed to do better there. Calvin Austin to the Giants. That one's weird because I guess he's the Wan'Dale Robinson replacement. I don't think he's that bad of a replacement. I think the issue is that, I mean, the Giants shouldn't be relying on that kind of receiver. I think they should have more than Neighbors in terms of like having bona fide guys. But it seems like they're content to just have Neighbors and friends, because I don't know if they're going to draft a receiver like high enough to get, like, again, somebody who's significantly better than the Slaytons and the Wan'Dales and the Hodginses of the world. Bryce Huff retired. Really strange career for this guy, because you're talking about undrafted free agent, makes a killing as a part-time player on the Jets, goes to the Eagles on a big contract, barely sees the field, wins a Super Bowl on that team, gets traded back to his old DC, has a hot start, completely cools down, and then retires. That one is really interesting. Wait, hold on. Who is this? Marco Wilson, I could not tell you anything about Marco Wilson. Tutu Atwell to the Dolphins. They got some speed at receiver. That being said, though, like my thought process is this: if Sean McVay couldn't get the best out of a receiver, what are the chances that Bobby Slowick will? So I don't know what that's gonna do for them necessarily, but Tutu's cool, I guess. I missed something. Oh, Samson Ebukam to the Falcons. Yeah, they need some bodies at edge rush for sure. They got a lot up in the air. Rashad White to the Commanders. I was looking at the Commanders roster and they actually only had one running back under contract, like on their entire roster. So they have Bill Crosby, Merritt, and now Rashad White. I guess Rashad White is solid depth. That being said, I think I would have expected more of a contrast. Algier, Braden Mann. What else? Orlando Brown got a 2-year deal. Landon Dickerson got a 2-year deal. Charles Amenahu to the Commanders. Oh, Osa Odigizua got traded to the Niners. I like this for the Niners because Osa is pretty good. I'm a little bit confused about why the Cowboys did this because I actually thought that the Cowboys had a pretty solid defensive tackle room. I think the idea of having Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, and Osa in a 3-4 defense is phenomenal. And my assumption is that Christian Parker is bringing a 3-4 defense to Dallas. Obviously, he's a secondary guy. So even though he's been on Fangio teams a couple of times and he's mainly been in 3-4 defenses, as a secondary guy, you don't necessarily know what his ideal front, defensive front is. But if we're assuming he's bringing a 3-4 to Dallas, why not? Like, that sounds like a sick base defense. You got Kenny Clark as the nose tackle, Osa and Quinnen Williams beside him. Again, but I guess Dallas has other ideas, which makes me think maybe this might be a 4-3 base defense. Now, that being said, base defenses barely get played nowadays. That's like a 10-15% of the game kind of a thing. You might mainly see nickel fronts where there's 2 defensive tackles, but again, depth is important. These big guys need to be rotated. The 300-pound guys get tired very, very quickly. So I don't know. Like, I thought the Cowboys had a pretty cool situation going on with their defensive tackles. And, I mean, they got good value in this trade. A 3rd-round pick is a quality pick. They're certainly not doing this for nothing. But I'm just a little bit surprised. From a Niner standpoint, I think they needed this kind of a deal in the worst way. He steps into the locker room and is immediately he's immediately the best Niners defensive tackle and probably the 2nd best defensive lineman. So it's a good trade for the Niners for sure. What I saw a tweet about is how Osa's first choice in free agency last year was obviously the Cowboys, but he came very close to signing with the Commanders. And ultimately he picked Dallas, who traded him immediately. Not immediately, but like a year later. So makes you wonder, man. Wonder if he wishes he picked the Commanders, because at least he wouldn't get traded against his will. Javon Hargrave to Dallas. Because Jonathan Gannon is the defensive coordinator, so he gets a familiar face. That being said, that's an old man. I'm surprised he got the money that he got. Jedrick Wills to the Bears, I think. Jedrick Wills to the Bears. They need just bodies to compete at left tackle, because otherwise that's kind of looking it's kind of looking like an issue. Bradley Chubb to the Bills. I'm surprised to see them make a move like this, because they just made a move for Bosa. Actually, no, I'll put it this way. I think they've had a lot of old defensive ends as of late. I'm just surprised that they went for another one. But Bradley Chubb is 29, not like the oldest of old men, but somebody who's had a lot of injuries, somebody who's played a lot of football. I'm just surprised that they're staking everything on another old edge rusher. We'll see if this works out, but something just tells me that you're gonna see this guy miss a bunch of games next year. The familiarity obviously comes from Jim Leonard. Jim Leonard was the defensive. He was on the Broncos defensive staff for a while, so I'm sure he crossed paths with Chubb there. You tend to see some tie to any, like, whenever a player signs for a new team, there's usually a tie somewhere. But yeah, Jim Leonard probably is familiar with Bradley Chubb, and that's why that deal got over the line. What else is here? Aaron Jones is coming back to Minnesota. I'm pretty sure so Aaron Jones is back to Minnesota. He will be in the backfield with Mason as Kyler Murray's running backs. What was this move? KJ Britt to the Patriots. Okay, hold on. The Patriots made one signing that I want to talk about. Where is it? It was yesterday. I might have to jump around. Fuck, where is it? Where's the Bayard signing? It didn't happen that late. No, it happened after Tariq Woolen. I'm sure of it. Maybe he didn't get a Bayard tweet out. Okay, I'll pull that up later. We can talk about Philly getting Tariq Woolen. Tariq Woolen is going to come to Philly to be the third corner. My feelings about Tariq Woolen is that, like, I think it's very obvious what he is. He's 6'4" with long arms and can run, which is like an unreal just foundation for like any corner to build a game on. But like his game just isn't that good, which is why he's not getting a multi-year deal. Like, think about it. He's a 26, 27-year-old free agent. Those kind of players, when they're good, get huge contracts. Look at Jalen Phillips. Tariq Woolen is only not getting that kind of a deal because the skill just isn't quite there to match the frame. That being said, those physical gifts are so outstanding that it still puts him in a position to be able to make plays enough to still be on the football field. But you saw a roller coaster of Tariq Woolen moments in the NFC Championship game when he made a big play to force a fourth down on Puka Nacua and then just kept talking shit and gave it all back and then got cooked for a touchdown. So the Tariq Woolen experience will be interesting. My only saving grace, or like not the saving grace, but the thing that I think about in this defense is that he's the weak spot, right? Because Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell are two players that you can rely on in Philadelphia. So I'm looking at Tariq Woolen where it's not like you get to attack him when he's making mistakes, only when he's making mistakes. I think he's going to be somebody who has to be thrown on quite a bit. And I think that's going to give him some pretty cool opportunities to make plays. He's here on a one-year deal. I think this is very clearly a one-year deal from both sides because he's either going to be good and it's going to make no sense to pay him when we have Quinyon and Cooper DeJean to pay, or he's going to be bad and he's not going to be here anymore. So this is a through and through one-year arrangement for both sides. And it'll be interesting to see again what kind of outcome there is. Whether it's good and he gets a big payday and the Eagles get a comp pick, or whether he's bad and has to take another prove it deal. But like I said, as the CB3, you got to throw it on someone. And I think teams are going to be throwing at Tariq Woolen, and he does have a receiver background. This is somebody who played receiver before playing corner. His chances to make plays are going to be there. I'll say this. Having CJ Gardner-Johnson, I think, has kind of primed me for a bit of a crash out DB that makes plays. So I'm personally, I think, a little bit more ready to deal with the crash outs than the average Eagles fan, or just the average football fan, sorry. But yeah, like I said, like I don't think the world of his game. I think he's solid, but not special. And just hopefully he can do a job, because at the end of the day, we had Adoree Jackson last year. That wasn't fun for a while. There were moments where he steadied the ship, but this is a pretty solid upgrade over Adoree Jackson. So I'll take that for sure. What else happened around this time? Romeo Doubs. We can talk about Romeo Doubs. Romeo Doubs to the Patriots. So this is the Patriots, I guess, Stephon Diggs replacement. Not that I think that means that they won't be making a bigger trade. Ultimately, I think most Patriots fans would have expected a bigger move at the receiver spot, considering that Drake May just had his breakout year, and the assumption is that you want to give a young quarterback as many tools as they can possibly get. Once a quarterback proves that they're capable of playing good ball on a rookie deal, The Patriots will never have an opportunity to have a stacked roster once they pay Drake May. But it certainly doesn't look like they're going to be able to achieve that this offseason. Barring an AJ Brown trade, it looks like they're going to be just running back the same offense, hoping that their younger players got better, but more or less just rolling from Stephon Diggs to Romeo Doubs. Now, I think that's basically a lateral move because I think Diggs obviously had his ups and downs. And I think Doubs, we've seen him here and there tasked with being a wide receiver one, but I think whenever Jaden Reed stepped on the field, he was not a one anymore. And I think whenever Christian Watson stepped on the field, he wasn't the one anymore. That being said, both those guys found ways to miss games quite a bit. So we have seen Romeo Doubs have to be the serious receiver in Green Bay. But yeah, if you compare what he could be to what Stephon Diggs was last year, I think this is basically a lateral move. And I think that's probably disappointing to most Patriots fans. Geno Smith is a Jet. So when I did my quarterback stuff on the live stream, I had Derek Carr getting traded to the Jets. The big thing there was I got to the point where Geno only had so many names left, and I was really I was very quick about just ruling out the idea of Geno Smith. Where did I end up putting Geno Smith? Oh, the Dolphins within the division. I just ruled out the idea of Geno Smith going to the Jets because I was like, I don't think he had a good time there, and I don't think he would want to go back. But somehow, some way, he wants to go back to a horrible Jets team and make more bad memories. Because nothing good is gonna happen in this offense. He has a couple good tackles, but they just lost Elijah Vera Tucker. They replaced him with a dude from the Raiders. That's never a good idea. Yeah, I don't think the world of the situation for a quarterback, and I'm just shocked that if there's somewhere he's gonna go to just get money, I can't believe it's gonna be somewhere in a massive media market that already kind of treated him pretty shittily. So that's just surprising to see. Like, I can't believe this is happening. From the Raiders standpoint, I thought they were gonna have to cut him, and they got something back for him. That's pretty awesome for them. Braden Smith going to the Texans. So I think if everything works out, this is probably their best offensive lineman. But I believe this guy had some medical issues. I forget what it was, but he missed some time. He had some medical issues. But that being said, Houston can't be too picky about their upgrades. They just needed upgrades however they could get them. I've talked about basically up to this whole point being shocked at the fact that Houston hasn't made a point to get a ceiling raiser for their offensive line. They've made a point. Well, forget ceiling raisers or floor raisers. They hadn't done anything with their offensive line. They just made it worse, so to speak, by trading away pieces. This was the first move. Like, they had retained guys. And this was their first time going out of the organization to get a bit of an upgrade to their roster. How much better is this guy than Titus Howard? That part, I don't know. I fear he might not be a huge upgrade. But he is better than some of the guys they have right now. Obviously, the exception there being that one of their young players develops. I believe they have a second-round pick from last year and maybe like a third-round pick from the year before. But barring that, Braden Smith is probably going to be their best offensive lineman. So good move by Houston. Got to hope for their sake it works. The Panthers got Devin Lloyd. This guy was awesome for the Jaguars last year. The Panthers actually made two pretty awesome signings when it comes to adding defensive talent with Jalen Phillips and Devin Lloyd. Pretty pricey, both of them were, but quality players. So the Panthers got better defensively this offseason for sure. I don't think that's I don't know if I would have had the same focus. Not to say that unit didn't need to get better. I just think that like it's a pretty concentrated thing to throw this much money at the front seven because it's one part of your team. I think like there's a ton of parts of the team that could have gotten better. They got worse at running back, losing Rico Dowdle. I still don't like their tight end options. They lost their starting center, so they still have to figure that spot out. That being said, it always could have been upgraded because I don't think the world of Cade Mays. Just surprising to see Carolina kind of act like they're okay offensively and really just throw a shit ton of money at the front seven. That being said, though, good players, and they definitely got better. What else? What else? What else? What else? I guess rumors about Alvin Kamara potentially no longer being on the Saints. At 31, I don't love the idea of Alvin Kamara coming in and being someone's like running back one and like the main part of their backfield. I don't know if I love the idea of that. But I think if somebody got lucky enough to inherit Alvin Kamara on a minimum salary because his contract, like because he has offset language in his contract and he gets cut, I think Alvin Kamara as a change of pace on a contender would be like dynamite. I think that'd be really dangerous for other teams. So we'll see what happens there. What the hell happened here? Oh yeah, Cole Strange to the Chargers. Yeah, man, not a huge fan of the Chargers offensive line decisions this offseason. We're gonna pray. We're gonna pray for Justin Herbert. That being said, though, if I think about it honestly, I don't think Mike McDaniel had the greatest offensive line talent ever in Miami. I think he had Teron Armstead, and I was watching a video about how he has a strong history of working with left tackles and or just tackles, but it looks like he has two in the in LA. But I don't love the interior of their offensive line at all. So we'll see if it works out. The Texans got Reed Blankenship. Wasn't able to talk about this, but I messaged Jared and explained this to him offline. So Reed Blankenship, I think, got paid $8 million for a reason. I actually think that's a fair number. What I would say about him is that like good instincts, good knack for what to do, good ball skills in terms of getting interceptions, not athletic at all, which is not a stereotype. It's just fact. That's why he went undrafted. So essentially, he had some very bright moments in Philadelphia where our defensive structure was working well, because that basically it creates the confines of the kind of areas of the field that Blankenship should be in. So when that's all working and you can reliably tell Reed that he has to cover this much ground and that's actually what he has to cover, he's going to play well, like really well. Because again, the know-how is there. But if the defensive structure falters and he has to start cleaning up messes for other people, yeah, that's not the best thing in the world, because he just doesn't have the athleticism to cover that much ground, to clean up, to have his own responsibilities and clean up somebody else's messes too. That being said, in Houston though, man, Houston, they have ballers in the secondary. We got no, we won't. Caden F Atlanta. Let's go, Jen Will. But yeah, in Houston, man, Reed Blankenship is gonna ball. Reed Blankenship is gonna ball. Hey, Jen Will. So I went through a lot of the main stuff I was gonna talk about. I may have missed some stuff. I'm gonna scroll through Adam Schefter's posts to see if I did miss anything. But if not, bro, feel free to put in any last things you want to talk about. We'll address anything and everything. I'm gonna let Jen will be the producer of the rest of the live stream. Calcaterra, I don't have anything. Hayward, they gave some money. Raiders signed the Steelers. Yeah, they signed this guy. Oddly enough, the guy I was just hovering over, they signed Cam Hayward's brother. So they split up one of the very few brother duos in the NFL. Browns signed Elton Jenkins. He's definitely mid at this point. Giants signed Greg Newsome, also pretty mid. Oh, Elijah Vera Tucker to the Patriots. So this guy is a pretty sick upgrade from Garrett Bradbury, and I say that because Jared Wilson was the left guard last year, and Garrett Bradbury was the center. They're moving Wilson to center, and they traded Bradbury. So I look at AVT as the Bradbury replacement, and he's significantly better than him. The issue with AVT is that like this guy misses a lot of games. So if they can keep him healthy, serious upgrade. If not, they're kind of back to square one. Rashid Shaheed is re-signed. Again, that was an interesting decision for me. Gardner Minshew to the Cardinals. So they're rolling with Jacoby Brissett, which is shocking to me. I did not expect them to say, you know what, Let's go get guard. Let's roll. Let's go into next year with Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew as our quarterbacks. Also, like the main reason there, it's not just the lack of talent, but it's the lack of potential. Like there's no upside with either of those quarterbacks long term. So I almost think that the Cardinals are like, but they're not tanking either because they have too much talent to tank, like properly tank. The reason I say that is because they had a disaster of a season last year, enough to get their coach fired, and they still don't have a pick high enough to take a quarterback. When I say tanking, I really mean getting like bottom 2 picks, but also they have too much talent to be worse than Miami. In my opinion, Miami, Cleveland, or the Jets. Like I think they would get the at best 4th overall next year. But yeah, I don't know. I'd rather wait for just saying. Well, that's kind of what they're doing. My issue is I'm not confident that they're gonna get a draft pick high enough to get the good quarterbacks next year. I'm just not. Sarcasm City Raid, say less, bro. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, H, and appreciate everybody else spilling in from Sarcasm City. I guess we're gonna be talking for a little bit longer now. But yeah, I think that's what they're doing. What else do we have here? I think I talked about all this shit. All right. I can scroll up. Bam's 83, man. Still ridiculous. Still ridiculous. What did I miss? Trey Hendrickson. We already know about this. Wait, who? Oh, this was Jalen Hawkins? But yeah, shout out to everybody pouring in from Sarcasm City, man. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Denzel Perryman returned. Yeah, solid role player. No complaints about that. Quick departure from football to talk basketball. What do you think about SGA potentially breaking his 20-point streak? So SGA is from about 45 minutes away from where I'm from, because I'm from the Toronto area. Huge SGA fan, supremely proud of him breaking that record. In terms of what I think about it, I think it's kind of a marker of just like how important SGA is to the Thunder, because I don't think that this means that SGA is the best player since Wilt. It just means that, like, in a way, the Thunder have staked their success on SGA so much, he in any given game is going to get the opportunity to get 20 without fail. And you can't say that about every other team, because think about a team like a Miami Heat when they had LeBron and D Wade. The team's success doesn't rely on any one player because either of them could step up. So inherently, a guy having a 15-point game is fine because I don't actually have to score 20 if LeBron's going for 50. But with the Thunder and SGA, no, like this is the whole team is set up to go as far as SGA will take them. And I just think it obviously is a great compliment to him that he has the ability to get 20 points in this run of games. But I think the real significance is the fact that, like, this is a team that's squarely built around one man's success, and he is successful. So kind of remarkable in that way. What? Wait. Sorry. I think I just thought about Peter Woods when you said Banks. Hold on. Banks? Why am I doing this on my phone where you guys can't see anything? Also, big up to Flawless as always, man. Appreciate you for the raid. Who is this? Banks? DT Draft. That sucks. Florida defense. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. Welcome to Philly. No, I'm kidding. But that sucks. What the hell was the Kirk Cousins update? That he got cut officially? Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need that. Okay, I talked about all this stuff already. I talked about all this stuff. Okay, yeah, the news has been spoken about in the NFL. So feel free, anybody in here, to hit the chat with any topics you might want to talk about. I'm gonna stay live for a little bit longer. We'll just go rapid fire for whatever happens in the chat. We might look in for Diggs or Jennings. Hold on. Which Jennings is in free agency? Am I tripping? There's like receiver Jennings to me is Greg Jennings, and it's definitely not that. Depending on what kind of Jawan. Jeez, I totally forgot about that human. That human does exist, yeah. I don't think they need Jawan, bro. I don't think they need Jawan. No, actually, hold on. Jawan would do a lot of Mike Williams things. And we know Justin Herbert likes throwing to Mike Williams. Sorry, I'm just so hold on. The receiving core is Ladd, Trey Harris, and there's a receiver I'm forgetting. I just like I don't think it's not a redundancy. You know what? It might be fine. Jawan Jennings, you know what? He's a sick blocker. And fucking McDaniel loves receivers that can block. So that might make sense. Diggs to the Broncos started swirling. Keenan. Yeah, okay. You know what? There's no redundancy. Jawan would make sense, actually. Jawan would make sense. Diggs to the Broncos started swirling. I would say they need a weapon at all costs. That would work. I get the idea that Sean Payton would not like working with Stephon Diggs. That doesn't seem like a fit. But I don't think they can go into next year without adding to their weapons. Stephon Diggs would be an improvement over some of their guys. And the guy literally was just a part of a team that went to the Super Bowl. He's made it to the playoff. He's made deep playoff runs with the Vikings and the Bills and the Patriots. Like, been a part of deep playoff runs for everybody, but everywhere but Houston, where he probably would have been a part of a playoff run if he was healthy. But yeah, no, I think if you're the Chargers and you want a receiver, I guess the question would become, Mike McDaniel had Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. How essential is it for him to have like a speedy receiver? Because if that's what he needs, then you probably need to get that in the draft at this point. Do you have the Darko All-Star MVP? Sorry, no, I don't. I should get it though. That would be a good one. That would be a good one. Hold on. What? Oh, I still have to add. I have to add the soundtrack. Hold on. Add sounds. I have to add this to the. I added it on the. Hold on, Jenwood. Did you ever hear the button I added to the basketball studio? If not, I just added it here. What the hell? Why is it? Oh, hold on. Shit. No. Hell yeah. Houston receiving core last year was so nasty, but everyone ended up injured. Well, yeah, because the two rookies they got are actually sick, Higgins and Noel. And then they have Nico Collins, they had Christian Kirk. But so it's not just that there was nasty, but they were nasty, but they got injured. They didn't have the offensive line that lets CJ Stroud get the ball, like move the ball around. So move the ball around is more like a basketball way of talking about a point guard facilitating. So like they didn't let CJ Stroud spread the ball around. There we go. I'm in football mode. Yeah, I think we never would have seen that receiving core live up to its potential, even if they stayed healthy. Because, bro, the defensive lines were kicking CJ Stroud's ass all of last year. Yo, this is elite bait. Because we're just talking about the Broncos making a receiver move, but this definitely just did not happen. I have to scroll the Twitter streets just to make sure. But yeah, man, good try, Clifton. Good try. Don't know if you read it last stream, but I said the Wendell Robinson signing might end up like whoa. Wait, hold on. You mean this from the standpoint of Terry McLaurin signing didn't end up good? So you're saying Wendell might fail. So for me, what the Wendell Robinson signing is like the junior Alec Pierce signing, and I think both of those signings are receivers that excelled in a small role, and teams just making the mistake of assuming that they will naturally step up into a bigger role. And that's a massive assumption. somebody thriving as a wide receiver 2 or a 3 doesn't, like, thriving to a high degree doesn't mean that they're just going to magically start thriving as a wide receiver 1. That is not how this stuff works. So I think there's some issues there. I don't think either signing is gonna make sense from a money standpoint long term. So I'm not a huge fan of either of those things. Let me scroll through this transaction log to see if there's anything that Kader Kohu to the Chiefs. This guy was a quality slot corner in Miami before tearing his ACL. Has the chance to be a quality slot corner. Almost combine those all into one word. He has a chance to be a quality player for them. And they need bodies in the secondary. So that signing makes sense. Also, like, no downside. Landon Dickerson gave the Eagles a few $1 million back. Basically restructured. He basically just accepted a smaller deal. And I think this is a sign, if anything, that motherfucker's body is broken, because he's not, like, if he was peak Landon Dickerson, there's no reason to just give money back. But yeah, probably a problem. Cost me $200 since he couldn't control his emotions. Damn, Jaylen Brown is the ops now. I understand it. Tank Dell coming back is going to be major for them. Also, if Joe Mixon returns from the shadow realm, they have a really good running back. Okay, so the thing is, they already cut Joe Mixon. So Joe Mixon is a free agent. Tank Dell coming back will be major for them. I mean, I love Tank Dell's game, and they definitely missed him when he got hurt, but I kind of think that they've replaced him with Noel. I guess Noel is more comparable in terms of game, but it's just like they have Higgins, Noel, and Nico Collins. Like, there's not enough football to even get to like 4 receivers at that point. So I hope things work out. Like, I hope things work out from that standpoint of, like, I'm a Tank Dell fan. But again, if he comes back completely healthy, I don't even know if Houston's going to be able to get him enough touches to, like, really get his value back. Don't give me hope for that. Damn. Yeah, man. Like General said, don't fall for the bait. Don't fall for the bait. Man said only trust one source, and that's God. But bro, to be honest though, God doesn't report on trades. I've never heard from God directly, like, that Max Crosby is getting traded. You know? Unless he's talking Chelsea. Nah, to be honest, you can trust me when I'm talking Chelsea, man. I have some pretty reasonable Chelsea things to say. Christian Izzy into the Lions, by the way. Great replacement for Emmeek Robertson. Oh, respect. But bro, man, my Chelsea takes are reasonable. The fuck? But yeah, Christian Izzy, great replacement for Emmeek Robertson. So they got their slot corner immediately after losing it. Orlando Brown extension with the Bengals. Like, why are we signing mid to? I hate the Bengals. They are going to single-handedly shorten that man's career. Oh, bro, hold on. I missed this. Keaton Mitchell. I don't know if this guy got healthy last year. I didn't watch enough Ravens football to be able to tell for sure. But bro, when this guy pre-injury, this guy was a sick running back. And if you talk about what this coach loves about fast players, Amarian Hampton is going to be his guy, but Keaton Mitchell is a sick change of pace. And $4+ million does not suggest to me that he won't get touches. It looks like it's going to be Keaton Mitchell and Amarian Hampton against the world. Cooper Rush released by Baltimore. Yeah, he lost his job. Yeah, big upside. Good to see you. So I basically talked about everything that I noticed. Oh, the Niners signed Greenlaw. Good signing for them. Good signing. Now, he did miss a bunch of games last year, but obviously he's familiar with that defense. Actually, hold on. He's not, because they got Raheem Morris. Yeah, you know what? That is interesting. The Niners got a completely different defensive scheme now. We'll see how that works out for them. On 50 attempts? Oh, okay, yeah, bro, he's fast. Like, yeah, he's fast, man. Like, think about how much he did with A-Chain or A-Chan. Obviously, Keaton Mitchell is not Devon A-Chan, but McDaniels knows what to do with fast running backs. We re-signed a secondary to a 4-year deal. Who was it? Devin Bush to the Bears. They got their Edmonds replacement. Oh yeah, the Patriots signed Kevin Byard. Probably their first major upgrade of the offseason, because I thought Draymond Jones over Clavon Cason is like a marginal upgrade. I thought Stephon Diggs to Romeo Dobbs was a lateral move. I don't even know if that's an upgrade. Bradbury to AVT was a pretty big upgrade. But yeah, sorry, the Patriots made their second big upgrade of the offseason. Mike Evans talking about missing piece. I saw that. I still don't take it seriously, but I saw that. Because, bro, if they're missing, they have so many missing pieces. Like their defense needs a lot more. Well, okay. One thing I'll say about Tennessee, I don't like how much their coaches just kept trading for their past players, bro. This guy's brought in now 2 defensive linemen that he's coached, and Dayball brought in like 4 Giants. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Robert Saleh and Brian Dayball, you guys did not get these jobs to just put your guys on and bring in the players that got you, like, that let you down in other spots. I'm not a big fan of that. Brandon Flowers, I don't know much about him. Oh, yeah. So actually, thank you for bringing that up. We can, I saw rumbles about that. We can look at that on stream. I think it just dropped recently. But the Titans got a completely new color scheme and logo. So it looks like they're really leaning into the Oilers kind of like color scheme and style here. They look a lot more like the Houston Oilers now. But yeah, this is their helmet. I like the color scheme. I hate the logo. This logo is too simplistic. And this is true. Very well be the OBJ of the Rams. No, I think he's more the Devontae Adams of the Rams, to be honest. Bro, this logo is shit. Again, I like the colors. I like the idea of going back to the Houston Oilers kind of a vibe, but this logo is garbage, man. This logo looks like, ever since like big hedge funds, like minimalism and this kind of wealth that's coming into the NFL, man, they just they dumb down every single style. Like, let me open up another tab. Eagles, hold on. Eagles new word mark, I think. Yeah, bro, look at this. This is a disgrace. This is garbage. But again, like, you know what it is? This is simplistic and nice, and you can sell this in different colors, and you can print it on shirts and hats and mugs and all these things so easily. And think about all the things you could do with this logo. But the reality is this logo looks like shit. Or not this logo, this word mark looks like shit. This is quality. But they're doing this to everything, man. Fucking private equity sucks. But yeah, if anyone here wasn't familiar that the Tennessee Titans were once the Houston Oilers, look up the Houston Oilers uniforms, man. This is this is the whole vibe brought back, just like the Raptors logo. Yes, great. This shit personally impacts me. That's why I feel so passionate about it. Marketing company out of college. The new logos are easier for casuals to accept. It's simple and not over the top. No, you're right. You're exactly right. It's about marketing. It's about catering to wider audiences. It's about playing it safe. It's the same thing with like pop music, right? Like pop music is supposed to be safe, so as many people as possible can like it. Not that several people love it, right? Because yeah, if you take a chance with music, you might generate a song that people really, 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 really love. But if you're trying to get for just like a wide audience, you can't do what it takes to make people love it. You'll probably just have a baseline of like, hey, this is cool that a lot of people resonate with, but there's definitely a cap. Yeah, that shit is ass. That shit is ass. Okay, hold on. Let's see. NFL, no. Let's go to the sleeper account. See if there's any. Bingo. Chiefs are signing DeMarcado. That's just a depth guy. CJGJ to the Bills. Like I said, they needed a veteran. They only have young safeties on the team. Guys, I learned today that Kyler Murray was actually a Vikings fan. He talked about it somewhere. I don't know if the tweet is up, but apparently he was crying tears when Brett Favre threw the interception to cost them the NFC Championship game. Just keep in mind, I'm not that confident he will be available in a full season. I get that. You're not the first one here in Melbourne. Yeah, they're playing the Niners, bro. That's actually a huge game. Seattle really likes George Halani and thinks he's ready for an increased role. So they signed Emmanuel Wilson, who was Green Bay's backup. It looks like they're definitely gonna rely on Charbonneau and a committee before Charbonneau is healthy. I expect them to draft a running back. But yeah, Halani, Emmanuel Wilson until Charbonneau is healthy as of now. Damn, Emmanuel Wilson Dynasty owners. Yeah, I don't have him in Dynasty. Damn. Bryce Huff retirement. I already talked about that. Jaguars GM James Gladstone on BTJ trade rumors. BTJ was never being shopped, and those were fraudulent claims. Samson Ebukam to Falcons. We already talked about that. Dre Greenlaw. We talked about that. Washington got Rashad White. That's pretty mid of them. I wonder how the RB rotation is going to look like. I would say, damn, dude, you're right. Vidal, I forgot about Vidal. He played well. Heaton can play returner. I don't know. I hope Chiefs get international games. I want to go this season. Yeah, I'm sure they will, man. They fucking have Travis Kelce. I'm sure they will. Darius Davis was tortured. Damn. You know what? So I don't know anything about Darius Davis. I just know he visually looks like a returner. Like he's so small and skinny. I always associated that with returners. Jonathan Allen to the Bengals. This guy's washed at this point, and if not, very injury prone. I actually haven't because basically free agency impacts mock drafts so much. I kind of wanted things to settle down before I looked at them. But you know what? I might check them out. I might check them out at the end of this stream. Actually, I can't stay for much longer. You know what? I'll do it right now. Great idea, Sai. Post free agency mock draft 2026. Okay, this is from a day ago. I want something even more recent than that. Because again, like if somebody did a mock draft before Kyler got signed, it might be irrelevant already. "12 hours ago." Yeah, you know what? That's not that bad. 3 hours ago? Perfect. Okay, we'll just go with those two. Continue for now. Sorry, people. Okay. First pick, Mendoza. Second pick, Arvell Reese. Makes sense. These Ohio State athletes popped off at the combine, man. Maui Goa to the Cardinals. That's fine. They could definitely go offensive tackle. David Bailey to the Titans. So this is where I disagree because I have a sneaky suspicion that they're gonna go Jeremiah Love. I have a sneaky suspicion that's gonna happen. The Nuggets might low-key be cooked. They're losing. Oh, geez. The Thunder broke the Nuggets. Yeah, man. That buzzer. It wasn't a buzzer beater, but that winner was nasty. That winner was nasty, man. I mean, Lou Dort literally tried to break the Nuggets. Giants going Carnell Tate. I used to scoff at this. I used to scoff at the idea of the Giants going receiver. I'm warmed up to it now. I still don't think it's the right thing to do, but I could see them doing it. They just paid a right tackle. probably too much money to bench. So I don't think they draft an offensive tackle here. They do need a receiver because again, they have a bunch of mid at receiver. I don't think they can go running back. There's no guard to take this early. You can't go edge rusher back to back after Abdul Carter. There's no defensive tackle. Like this is probably Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs / Carnell Tate, just depending who you think is better from a value standpoint. Hilariously, I just named 3 Ohio State players. That was not the intention. I got to see it live in Hold on. You live in Oklahoma City, brother? That's unreal. I don't think I've encountered anybody online from OKC yet. Shout out to you though, man. Like you're the second Thunder fan in the communities that I'm a part of. I don't know if you know about my basketball channel, but I have a basketball channel where honestly, yeah. So on my basketball channel, I do Raptor stuff until their season ends, and then I do Shea stuff. Like last year, I did OKC watch-alongs the entire playoffs, cause, again, Shea's my favorite player right now, cause I'm from like 45 minutes away from where he's from. Browns going offensive lineman. Browns could damn near go anywhere. Yes. Oh my God. I saw this. I saw DeMar Fleury. I died. What a coincidence, man. What a coincidence. Commanders going Jeremiah Love. I mean, sure, they would go Jeremiah Love because he would make them better. I think they have 100 other things to worry about. I don't know if they can afford the luxury pick that would be running back at 7, but I mean, you can't go wrong with taking him. He's phenomenal at football. Ruben Bain to the Saints. Yep, they lost Cam, or they're about to lose Cam Jordan. Sonny Styles to the Chiefs. I have not seen this, but he would be a major upgrade. Because Sonny Styles looks like he's going to be like Fred Warner, like immediately. Oh, Sai, where do you know where you're coming in June? Let me know when you know the cities. Caleb Downs to the Bengals. That'd be amazing. I don't know. I kind of get the sneaking suspicion he won't be this far in the draft, but that makes sense. Yo. Bro, I looked at it. So they lost Chris Rodriguez in free agency to the Jaguars. Their only running backs right now are Bill, and then they got Rashad White in free agency from the Bucks. So right now their whole room is Bill and Rashad White. Shout out to Chris Rodriguez though, because he's the vet in Jacksonville, because Jacksonville lost Etienne. They have Rodriguez, and then their 2 rookies from last year, LaQuint Allen and Bashal Tutin. So I don't know how that backfield's going to work, but people, Bashal Tutin stocks might have to go up. Mansour Delane, yeah, Miami can go almost anywhere. Jermad McCoy, Dallas could definitely go corner. Yo, because like when free agency starts in the NFL, like literally like 200 things happen in like 3 days. So I don't blame you, but that's also what I'm here for. That's what me and this channel are here for, to keep you guys tapped in. Miami and LA, okay, true. I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can make it to one of those cities. But yeah, Jordan Tyson to the Rams. I don't see receiver being the move for them. They don't need a receiver to win a Super Bowl. They could probably use an offensive tackle, considering Havenstein just retired. Keldrick Falk and the Ravens have this pick because they told the Raiders to fuck themselves. Coincidentally, they could take an edge. And if Ravens fan is still here, bro, this is what makes more sense than anything, right? Them taking an edge to pair with Hendrickson. Kenyon Sadiq to Tampa. Nah, bro. No way, man. Tampa has so many more needs than tight end. Jets getting Ione. Now this is an AVT replacement. This is a Vera Tucker replacement for sure. Monroe Freeling to the Lions. Yup. Oh my goodness, do they need offensive line help? Now, Thieneman, apparently this guy's like amazing, like an elite safety. This would literally be a Harrison Smith replacement in terms of being a white safety. But again, I think the Vikings need to probably address some more important stuff. Peter Woods to the Panthers. Man, more defensive line investment. TJ Parker to the Cowboys. Yeah, they need edge help. Oh my goodness, Ty Simpson to the Steelers. Okay, I think this is probably partially because they don't have a quarterback yet. But I don't see this happening. Caleb Banks just broke his foot. Hopefully he's okay, but he goes to the Chargers here. Makai Lemon to Philly. Jeez, that would be hilarious. Jeez. Damn, fuck it, man. Why not? Let's see what that would look like. I don't want Sonny Styles at 9. I hate. You know what? You're not wrong to hate picking linebacker at 9. That motherfucker is special, though. That's a special football player. But you're not wrong for hating linebacker at 9. This safety looks good, but I don't think they need to go safety anymore. Not after the CJGJ signing. Caleb Lomu. This would be a great pick for the Niners. Blake Miller. This would be a good pick for the Texans. Avion Terrell. This would be a good pick for the Chiefs. Literally get another corner with the McDuffie pick. Omar Cooper Jr. for the Broncos. That would make sense. This is a good mock draft from I feel like this person understands generally what teams' needs are. There's a bit of weird shit going on with certain, I guess, talent evaluations. No, okay. I'm going to look at this guy's mock draft, and then I'm going to head out, people. Shout out to everybody in here. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Mendoza, Arvell Reese, Bailey. Jeremiah Love, number 4. This guy knows ball. Sonny Styles 5. See, that kind of makes more sense to me than Carnell Tate. Monroe Freeling. Oh, this is crack. Monroe Freeling at 6 is high. Ruben Bain to the Commanders makes sense. Carnell Tate to the Saints makes sense. Makai Lemon to the Chiefs. Ooh, that's high, but they would benefit from having a receiver. That guy in the spotlight would be hilarious, though. Caleb Downs at 10. That's 2 mocks in a row, man. I think he's too good to go to 10. And I kind of would hate to see him wasted in Cincinnati. Francis Mauigoa stays in Miami in this mock. That'd be a great pick. Mansour Delane. Yeah, that would be good. They need a corner. Kenyon Sadiq. Now this would be insane considering that they have 3 tight ends and they just drafted one. This would be such overkill. Especially because you don't have a second first round pick anymore. Ione. No, that would be good. Baltimore needs a guard for sure. Keldrick Falk at edge. They need an edge rusher. This mock. Oh, more Thieneman to the Vikings again. That's a bit of a surprise. I know it would be fantastic. I get that part. You said that a trillion times. Caden Proctor, I'm realizing the last guy didn't have him in the first round. That's surprising. But again, this would be a great get for the Panthers. Somebody with some versatility. Messidor to the Cowboys. Yeah, I think both mocks have them going corner and edge rusher. So pretty clear understanding of what their needs are. Caleb Banks to Pittsburgh. Avion Terrell to the Chargers. Makes sense. Cassius Howell. That's fine. That makes sense. Denzel Boston to the Browns. I don't know. I don't know if I have Boston going in the first round. Peter Woods to the Bears. Oh my God, that would be amazing. CJ Allen to the Bills. Yeah, they could use that. Lomu to the Niners again. That would be a great pick. This guy's boomer bust. I think the Texans could go for somebody that's a little safe, or a little more safe. McCoy to the Chiefs makes sense. Again, another mock where they go corner with the McDuffie pick. Omar Cooper to the Broncos. Again, back-to-back mocks. Casey Concepcion to the Patriots. That would be good for them. Colton Hood to Seattle. So I think Seattle is taking a corner in both mocks as well. Seattle got to get their Colton Hood and both mocks got to get their Woolen replacement. But we're gonna end the stream there, people. Shout out to everybody in here. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. K9 is such an introvert. Bro is not built for the stardom, bro. He's not built to be a superstar. This guy was, and this is part of the trick with him, is he's a good player, but bro, like he was just a guy until this Super Bowl run, and now he's like a superstar. It's very interesting to see. But yeah, shout out to everybody in here. I will be back on Sunday to do this all over again. We're gonna see if there's any updates. If not, we're gonna probably start pivoting towards draft stuff. But yeah, I'll see you guys then. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on Sunday. I would say around like 7 or 8 Eastern time. But big up, take care until then, and I'm gonna let Stephen A. Smith do the same thing as always. Where will Diggs end up? Big up, bro. Where will Diggs end up? Sorry, I'm trying to think of like a previous coach that makes sense. I don't know. Let's just say Broncos, because my guy here said that there was rumors swirling. So let's go with Broncos. And yeah, I'm on my way out. I'll see you guys on Sunday.
Y'all take it easy. I'm out. Y'all take it easy. I'm out.